us now are Elizabeth Long and Angel Garcia, and I want to talk to you guys about diversity, equity, and inclusion. First of all, starting with you, Elizabeth, you've been with GSA for a year. What are some, or this year, first you started this year, what are some of the immediate projects that you've jumped into?
One of the things I've been really excited about is working on revising our processes for how we award our society medals and other benchmarks for folks, and also how we go about nominating people for those awards and also for our volunteer service committees. We realized that we weren't getting a good representation of the folks who are in our society, and that we could also make some improvements to how those processes are done so that everyone was on a more equal footing. So that included not only how we nominate folks, but how we review proposals, how we review the applicants for awards, and working with our committees to be a little more understanding of some of the biases that come into play when we do that. One of the next projects that I'm going to be taking on after this meeting is working with some of our team to look at our demographic data for the members in our society, for some of the different positions on our committees, for some of our awardees, and looking at the types of data we're collecting. Are we really getting good representative data? Are we including everyone? Are we including all the different facets of diversity that we need to be looking at? And using that data so that we can think about where we can make improvements and how we can go about implementing those improvements.
Well, and speaking of committees, I mean, Angel, you're chairing the committee this year, and why did you decide to step up and get involved?
First, I was an OTF alumni. I was part of OTF a couple years ago, and it was a really life-changing opportunity, right, for me, because I was able, just in the first meeting that I was participating, being introduced to many parts of the society, right? And I saw that as a really valuable experience for other students. So I became part of the mentor program, and then I assisted to meetings, became a member at large at the Diversity in the Geosciences Committee, and I was elected as a chair last year.
What are some of the projects that the DEI committee are working on right now?
So we're working together with Elizabeth in a couple of things, the things that she mentioned, right? But also we are developing a little bit of our own projects. Like, for example, we want to look at some correlation between natural disasters and how that is affecting people coming to GSA, right? I'm just putting in context like past hurricanes and how is that truncating, right, the participation in GSA. And also we are looking about how we can make short courses a little bit more inclusive and more culturally responsive, right, so other people feel appealing to participate.
Well, I love that you're doing it to include other areas and not just thinking just United States, looking at all over the world, and especially that cultural aspect, because it's so important.
Yeah, it is. I think when we think about inclusive, right, it's not just being able to do something, but it's also different ways of knowing, different ways of doing research, different ways to communicate, different ways of disseminate, right, the science, and that's really important to bring into the conversation.
And Elizabeth, what are some of, say, the long-term goals, or maybe what has been the most eye-opening thing for you since starting this position?
Oh my gosh. So we have a lot of diversity initiatives and requests that have been outlined by our decadal strategic plan, by our diversity ad hoc committee, our diversity standing committee. Lots of folks have chimed in and said, we've got work to do, and we absolutely agree with that, and we do. And I feel like this work could go on for years and years and years. So I see a outcome or a positive movement towards a more inclusive GSA, but in particular a more equitable and accessible GSA. And so I'm really looking forward to working across all aspects of the society. Some of the things that Angel was talking about, we've got some targets in our publishing department that we'd like to work on. We're always super excited about supporting our students and finding new ways to do that. And I just want to say I've been working with a diverse group of students here at this meeting, and it has been so incredibly rewarding. And I'm so excited and enthusiastic about the current generation that's coming up in the geosciences and what they're going to achieve. I'm not sure we're ready for it. I'm not sure the old guard is really ready for this change that's coming, but they're absolutely fantastic and super, super inspiring.
Change is a good thing. Thank you.
Change is.
Yeah, thank you both for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.